this mobile subscriber you are trying to reach is unavailable, okay? To my channel, and thank you for stepping back into Lee's world. So today I'm going to be doing a full glam, full face chit chat get ready with me. So tonight me and Bae are just going to go to the movies, kind of have a chill night. I thought like might as well get cute for a little date, you know, and might as well film it for you guys. So I'm obviously gonna start out with priming, and if you guys watch my my no makeup look, you already know the products that I use to prime, how much I use, things like that. If you don't know, stop and go watch the other video first. And then you should subscribe to my channel after that, because at that point you 2 videos in, sis, you might as well, I'm just saying, you might as well, okay? All right. So as I said in my get to know me video, I can't remember if it was part 1 or part 2, but when it's when I talked about like my favorite quote, and I was talking about how like I love seeing quotes, I love seeing things with meaning and things that I can relate to. So I've been seeing quotes about this topic a lot lately, and then also for you guys who don't know, I am a big natural hair like junkie, because I have been fully natural for 3 going on 4 years. I am really into like all the natural hair care companies and their CEOs. I follow a lot of them, and one of them is Myo Organics. If you guys don't know what that company is, please check it out because their products are amazing. But their CEO is Monique Rodriguez, and first of all, she's gorgeous, but she is like amazing because she gives tips on like her entrepreneurial journey, and like, you know, how to start a business when you like have no clue, and you know, like everything, because she started that company like out of her garage, mixing stuff in her kitchen sink, you know. So, and now she's in stores around the country. So I was watching one of her videos, and she was talking about like relationships. So like not just boyfriend, girlfriend, but like you know, friendships, families, like the people you surround yourself with on a daily basis. And that really just got me thinking like, something's here. Because a lot of those quotes that I was seeing were relatable, and they were about relationships. So now I'm gonna start on my brows using my brow dip and my little tool here. So girl, I just tried to do these eyebrows without my handy dandy mirror. We all know that's not gonna happen. Okay, so yes, so my take on relationships, I don't know, I used to be a very different person than who I am now, which is like, makes sense. We all evolve, especially as we get into our adulthood. But I can say for myself personally, I was very, very naive when I was younger. Like, I mean, like middle school and high school age. Like in elementary and middle school, I kind of was bullied by like other girls, and like I didn't know until I got older and like really knew what like bullying, and like really knew what bullying was, I guess. But it was all in my head at the time, trying to like keep these friendships, you know, of like girls when I was in grade school, because you know, like friends are everything in grade school. Like we all know like kids are cruel in grade school, so like you don't have any friends, like it's fucking sucks. So that kind of carried on with me into like you know, like me getting older. Like I was like, okay, Like, I always have to have strong relationships, friends, family, like all that. So like, even if I had like an issue, or I didn't like the way I was being treated, or anything, I would like just withstand it, because I felt like I needed to be surrounded by people all the time. I needed to be liked. I needed to, like, you know, and it's just like that insecure feeling. And like I said, it's not just like friends, like even like my family as well. Like my family, like, they're crazy now. So like, it was, you know, some things like I didn't agree with that, you know, my family would do, or certain people in my family would do, or certain friends would do, or whatever. But I'm just like, well, these are my people, like, so I can't like say no. And then like, I would also let people be in my ear, like, oh, well, like, if you don't do this or you don't do that, like, I don't know, like, it naive, okay? We're just gonna leave it right there. So it took me to, like, and this is not an exaggeration, it took me to like my sophomore year of college. So sis is a good, what, 19 by this point, to realize that like, you don't have to put up with bullshit to be happy, or to be like yourself, or, you know, like, you can just live your best life and keep good energy, keep positive energy, be happy, because that happy that you have now is a fake happy, because you're not genuinely happy. You just like doing what you're told, basically. So I started to kind of like reevaluate people's presence in my life, and I was just like, snippity snip snip snip, like cutting people off left and right. And at first it was hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was real hard for me to cut like certain people out of my life, or not even cut them off. Like, you start growing in two different directions. That happens where, you know, you're with a guy, you're with a girl, or you have a friend or a family member, and, you know, for so long it was the norm for y'all to be like together all the time, or to follow like this one pattern all the time. And then, you know, y'all both start growing, or maybe one of y'all start growing and like becoming less naive, or becoming more of an adult, getting more responsibilities, making more decisions, things like that. Maybe like a child's involved, things like that. So like, things are changing, you're evolving. And if you guys are kind of going in two separate directions, or maybe one person is stuck in their ways, it's not gonna last. Like, that relationship is just not it, you know. And like, you know, what's sticking out to me the most is the family aspect, because like, you know, you're growing up, you were this way with your family, and some people might be like, oh, you're a traitor, or you turned your back on us. But it's like, at what point do we stop doing this? Like, we're just gonna keep doing it, so like my kids and your kids are gonna be like doing dumb shit? No, we're not doing that. Like, at what point do we grow up and say, something's gotta change about it? It can't just keep going in the same direction that it was. Because once somebody out of the two of y'all is gonna get start to like, hate's a strong word, but hate the person, or like feel some type of way, and then it becomes an issue of like, the relationship is kind of like destroyed, and then like, you know, that's fucked up, because y'all could have just like been adults and talked about it. But instead, you know, y'all saw that it was like some BS, and still like kept it going. So, but at that point when you like notice, okay, this is my energy, this is my vibe, this is my mindset, so now I'm gonna surround myself around people or people that, you know, kind of like enhance this, and I won't say new personality, it's still you. It's been you since this whole time. You just didn't know, because you didn't know. Like, everybody goes through a stage of growing. Everybody. Like, literally everybody. Everybody changes. Even if you say you don't like change, since you changed, okay? We're not the same when you were like 14, 15. Like, you're not the same. Because I would love for somebody to tell me, my big 23-year-old self, oh, Aaliyah, you're the same as you were when you were 15. I'd be like, okay, you clearly didn't know me when I was 15. Like, not to say that you're a bad person now, or you were a bad person then. It's just like, you have grown. You know, you have seen things that you can't unsee. You've done things you can undo. And you've learned lessons. I'm sorry, I can't change that. And I'm not saying like all relationships have to be like that, so we're like they all come to an end. That's not true. Like, that's not true at all. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm gonna take my matte poreless Fit Me, Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and my shade is 330. I'm not saying all relationships like they all end. It's never a happy ending. I'm not saying that because it's people in my life that have been in my life since I was like younger, like not just speaking of family, because obviously duh, but like friends, and they're still with me. You know, like, it just takes different levels of maturity. Hell, I have a friend that, and it's a guy too, you know. We're not gonna get into men and women being friends, because that's a whole nother topic, sis. But it's a guy, and I've known him since 6 years old. I was in the first grade. We were in the first grade when we met. And literally, like, we are still friends to this day. So I'm gonna use two concealers here. So I take my 350 Fenty concealer and I use that as my like regular concealer, and then I add this 290 as just like a light highlighter. Like, I add a couple of dots in there to like brighten my face a little bit. So let me make a little disclaimer. Like, I don't want people to think that what I'm saying is you have to like cut people out of your life and like at some point like goodbye. No, like, some people you can literally love from a distance, especially if it's family. Like, you don't have to, you know, like be a butthole about it and like, oh no, like forget her, like no, like, oh no, and avoid them at family reunions or other friends functions and stuff like that. Like, no, just like I said, love them from a distance. I think that the reason why, like I was saying, I really need to wash my brushes and my sponges, because this is nasty. I promise. You know what? I'm gonna have y'all hold me accountable. I'm gonna film a video of me cleaning my brushes and my sponges, so then y'all like, and I'm gonna show y'all like how I do it, so then that way y'all know I did it, I didn't lie. Okay, back to it. So what was I saying? Oh, so like when I said you outgrow people, like you start to evolve. And I think the point for me is when I learned this is when I get too comfortable in a situation. So, and like being in your comfort zone. Like I felt like I was too much into getting into my comfort zone, and I needed to, things needed to change. I'm a person who does not mind change at all. So like when I noticed like it was time for a change, it was time for me to better myself, and get out of my comfort zone, and you know, branch out and do other things, because you know, like when you're in your comfort zone and you notice it, so when you're in your comfort zone and you notice it, you start to feel stuck. So like if you don't notice it, then you're just like, this is the norm. But once you start to notice it, you're like, what do I do now? You know, like literally you'll be like, what do I do now? So now I'm gonna go in with the 470 Fenty concealer, and I'm gonna use this as my contour. So like I said, you start to feel like what do I, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do type thing. And I think for me, so about 2-3 years ago, I was diagnosed with clinical depression and mild anxiety. And I think it was because of the fact that I knew that I was stuck in my comfort zone. I mean, amongst other things, it was a lot going on in my life around that time. But I knew I was stuck, and I didn't know what my next step was or what to do, or I didn't know. So I had literally shoved myself into depression. And the anxiety, oh my gosh, that was just like the cherry on top of it all. And like to this day, I still battle with the two of them. It's not as bad now because now I know. I know that these things are happening, but and I know like I'll know like, okay, I need to get my together. But you know, like nobody's perfect, so of course I have my days when I'm like feeling some type of way, but it's mainly because of the fact that I'm feeling how I'm feeling, and I like, it's like I want it to be different, I want it to be better, but like I just can't figure it out how to like make it better or change it up. But like I know that it's not right and that I need it to be different. I think that one of the most important things about a relationship is having somebody that you can be vulnerable around. And like, I don't mean like somebody you can cry with, somebody who can tell you like the real, not just be like a yes man, but not be like a negative Nancy about it, you know? Like they can tell you like, no sis, like that's not it. Or like, keep working, you're almost there, but you haven't quite grasped that concept yet. You know, but you don't want somebody that's just like all the time like bringing you down. Like, that's not for you, like don't do that. Like, no. And like doesn't give you a reason or like, so I'm gonna go in with my Airspun translucent powder and set my highlighter. So like nobody wants that negative Nancy person in their life, but they do want somebody that's gonna be honest with them. like, I know that's probably like a very, very thin line, but you'll know the difference. Trust me. Because I know that we all know somebody in our lives where oh yeah, I know the difference. So, with that vulnerability piece, sorry, that stuff is just powder, okay? So with the vulnerability piece, like, if that person's like always negative, always bringing you down, it's gonna be hard for you to be vulnerable around them, or even want to tell them anything, or even want to like bring a new idea to them, because you're just like, oh, like, I already know. So it's like I said again, you don't want to feel like, oh, let me cut them out of my life. But those are the people you may want to love from a distance, because it's going to be like, you just don't need that in your life. Like, you know, because there is such thing as positive feedback, not criticism, but, you know, constructive criticism. So yeah, that's my take on that. For a good relationship for me, stepping aside from the vulnerability piece, loyalty. Oh my God, like, loyalty. Like, I have to be able to trust you. I have to be able to rely on you. I have to be able to like know, you know? I never went, like, the moment okay, so let's back up. So I have trust issues. Like, I don't just come out the bat, like, when I meet somebody, like, oh yeah, they seem cool. No, like, I have a hard time even calling people my friends. Like, if we hang out, you know, like, I'm be like, oh, like, yeah, like, that's so-and-so. Not my friend so-and-so, that's so-and-so. You have to be my good gal pal for me to be like, or my good bro for me to be like, that's my friend, or like my friend Justin or Courtney or whatever. Like, you have to be my good friend. And so now that I set my contour and my highlight, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Pro Cleanser Instant Research powder and kind of use this to dust it off and blend my skin a little bit. So, like I was saying, like, loyalty, that's a big piece for me. And, so, like, I don't know, so, like, loyalty is just, like, a big piece for me. Like, there has to be, like, once you become my friend, that loyalty is established. And if I ever once have to question your loyalty, it's done. Like, it's big done. And, like, I think that's what people, like, come off as, like, I'm, like, super mean, or, like, I'm just, like, a B-word. And I'm just, like, I don't think so. I just think that I'm honest. And, like, I'm careful when it comes to myself. Because, like, everybody else is looking out for number one. So, like, why is it selfish, or why is it mean, or why am I being a B-word when I'm looking out for myself? Because, like, I had to question your loyalty as a friend. Like, no, I'm looking out for me, my feelings, my self-interest, you know? So I'm just doing what's best. It's like, don't take it personal. Because, like I said, I'm not going to cut you off and, you know, well, depending on the situation. If the situation is bad, like, nonsense. We can't even do it no more. We can't. But you know, if it's like something that's like really not that big, but still like, wow, that was messed up, I'm gonna love you from a distance. And that's just that on that, as my skin Keisha would say. So at this point in time, I like to set my face before I add anything else to it, just because like this is like the foundation of my makeup, so everything else that I add after this is kind of like extra. Alright, and of course I'm using my Decay all-nighter spray. But I don't want this whole like chit chat to be about like removing people from your life and, you know, like how to take that negative energy out, which is like still important, but there are some upsides to relationships. And the fact is, you just want to surround yourself around people that match your energy. And then, you know, someone who motivates you, someone who's serious about their career, someone who is, you know, like on the up and up. Hi, Bubs. Saint wants to say hi. Hi, Bubs. Bubsy. Say hi. Hi, Bubsy. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. So, you want to surround yourself with people who are driven, they're motivated, they care about you, they're checking up on you. Even though, like, I have some friends that, like, I go maybe months without talking to them. But that's just because, like, I'm busy, they're busy, we live in 2 different states now, like, things are happening. But literally, as soon as we do talk, like, it's picked up where we left off, you know? So I'm not telling you guys, like, you need to go out and, like, build all these bonds, get all these best friends, cut all out these family members that are toxic. I'm not saying that at all. Just saying that, like, you are a reflection of who you hang out with, who you tolerate in your life, things like that. So it's like, or let me put it a better way. Your energy is a reflection of all of that. So me, like, I used to be negative Nancy, like, all the time. And I think it was because of the fact that I was stuck in my comfort zone and I knew it, didn't know how to get out. I was super naive. I didn't know that. I was about to say I knew that. I didn't know that until now. But I was super naive. So, like, I didn't know how to get out of that stage of my life. But I knew I needed to figure it out. And I didn't have any direct help. And I was negative Nancy to the T, you know. And then once I started to, like, kind of move out of it, that's when I was still trying to, like, figure it out. But then I also was, like, going through some other things in my life. Then, like, I had just started college, so it was just like pressure on pressure on pressure, and that's when my depression kicked in, and I was just like overwhelmed. So like my energy was like, okay, plummet. And, you know, like, not saying I have it all figured out now, because like I said, I still have my days, but now I feel like the people that I have in my life are friends, family, even my boyfriend. Like, they are people that their energy, their personalities are all things that do mesh with mine. And, you know, like, I love being surrounded by these individuals. I love talking to them, and, you know, I don't even have to talk to them. They could do something simple as comment on an Instagram post, but it's like you can still feel that energy, you know? So it's like when you find that group of people, you'll know. Like, you'll know, because you'll think back on, like, the old you, and you'll be like, wow, I was missing out, okay? Like, I was missing out. So now I'm gonna apply a little blush. So this blush palette, I got this from TJ Maxx, Marshalls, for like $4 or $5. And when I say it be hitting, sis, it be hitting, okay? Like, okay, it be hitting. Sis be hitting. Sis be hitting, okay? And like, I don't feel the need to buy like a more expensive one or like a more name brand one. Like, I'm good. So now I'm gonna go work into my eyeshadow now. Hello, it's me. So I'm gonna take my very dirty Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe Cosmetics. And just because it's like a very neutral tone palette, looks like these, if you haven't seen it before. Like I said, we're just going to remove these stuff, but I wanted to do a little glam. Just a smidge of glam. I'm gonna use these two colors, mix these two as a like base in my transition shade. So just apply that right in my crease. So back to the topic at hand, sis. I don't know. I guess the moral of this story, it's a very long-winded story. So I'm not gonna sit here like I have all the answers, because clearly I don't. But, and I'm not saying like, oh, here is a starter kit for who to have in your life and all that jazz, because I don't know what any of this is. But I'm just saying, I would say make wise decisions, and if you see red flags, trust them. Trust them. They're not lying. Those are true red flags. So now I'm gonna go in with this darker shade of brown here. These have names, and like, I don't know what the name is, because I think I threw the name card away, which is sad, because like, I liked it. I don't think I threw it away. I think I like with moving and stuff. So I'm going to take that darker shade, and I'm just going to dust that into my crease there, and then fluff it out a little bit. Do you know how hard it is to do makeup and talk at the same time? Like, y'all don't even know, okay? Y'all don't even know how hard this is. Because I'm trying to like keep my train of thought, but it ain't working, because I'm like, what did I say last? It's hard. It's real hard. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, don't have a starter kit for like the best relationships, but you just gotta make the right decisions. You will make some mistakes, like you're gonna do that. Like, unfortunately, it's all like, I am a firm believer in all things happen for a reason. So literally, it's some people that have seasons in your life, and some people are there for a lifetime. You're not gonna know the difference. You are not, sis. When I tell you you're not gonna know, you think you know. You don't know, sis. You do not know, okay? You don't know, because them seasoned people will fool the you know what out of you. They gonna be in there like, yes, sis, us forever. No. And then you look up and you're like, oh, well, that was nice while it lasted. So yeah, yeah, and I still think like, so like, I feel like I've been touching more so on like the friend aspect. So let me go a little bit deeper into like family, and then like relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife type things. So first, like with the family, so Of course, like, everybody thinks like you're stuck with your family. You're not. Let me be very, very clear. Let me be the one to tell you, you're not. Because just because you're related to that person doesn't mean you're stuck with like having to tolerate them or deal with them. You're not, because honey, this mobile subscriber you were trying to reach is unavailable, okay? And yes, like, I'll be completely honest, it's some people in my family who I love from a distance, because I just cannot, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you don't have to cut them off, but just be honest with yourself about it. But like, they'll notice, like, dang, like, she really not messing with me like that, you know. And some people take that different ways. Some people take that as, oh, it's like she being fake or whatever. And some people take that as like, oh, maybe we need to, like, did I do something? Like, we need to talk, like, you know, what's going on? And, you know, those are situations that you can kind of remedy at the same time, because that shows genuine, like, care and growth in you both, that you can sit down and have an adult conversation. That goes to, like, the friends and the, like, significant other piece as well. Because if you can have an adult conversation, like, and it be an actual adult conversation, doesn't turn into like an argument or something, then y'all, you're gravy. You gravy, baby. But, you know, if it turns into the she's fake one, like, it's all downhill from there, sis. It's not gonna get any piece of better. All right, so I'm gonna take this deep dark, like, chocolatey shade here at the bottom, and I'm gonna buff that into my outer corner on both sides. So yeah, like, the family piece is like probably the most trickiest one. Is that a word? Trickiest? I'm gonna go with it. Trickiest one, because it's the most tricky. Okay, I'm just digging myself into a deeper hole. It's the worst because you're related to these people, so it's no, like, also it just no, like, oh, we can't be friends anymore. It's not that, especially if it's in your immediate family. You know, if it's like a seventh cousin, girl, I see you at the family reunion across the picnic table. Sis, we ain't, okay? I'm gonna leave it right there. We ain't, and we ain't got to. But when it's in your immediate family, it affects more than just you. And that's when it gets a little bit selfish, because if you are, you know, at like Thanksgivings or Christmases, it gets awkward, and you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be inconveniencing your other family or being disrespectful to the other people in your family because you don't mesh well with this person. Just be adults about it. That's all it really is. You just have to be adults about it. And if you can't be adults about it, then, like, square up, sis. No, I'm just. And I'm gonna take some of my Fenty concealer in the color 290 again, and I'm gonna kind of cut this, not cut the crease, because it's just, yeah, you'll see. So, not really cut the crease, but because I'm not doing like a full crease, I'm just doing like the very front. But I guess it is still cutting the crease. You'll see it in a second, sis. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you guys can't be cordial, if you can't be adults about it, and I have those situations, not with myself, but like people in my family are like that, and it's hard, like, because you can definitely feel the tension. You can, you know, and everybody in my family is very, very vocal, and it's just, it gets bad. I'm not even gonna lie. It gets bad at times, but it's not like really a whole lot we can do, because we can't be like you can't disinvite your family from Thanksgiving or Christmas. So it's a tricky situation with that. But the same thing as I maneuver into my other point of this topic, which is like significant others, that can be tricky as well, because if you can't have an adult conversation with the person that you are in a relationship with, get out of that relationship and fast. And like the reason I say that is because that is going to be a toxic relationship. So I'm going to go back in and kind of define the darker chocolatey brown shade that I put in my outer corner, right where I put the concealer, just so it doesn't lose its shape. But yeah, so that relationship is going to be toxic, and you know it, if you can have an adult conversation, because you can't talk things out. Then like what like if we can't talk, like no baby, because that's not a good look. Like, we can't talk things out. It means it's gonna be a lot of arguing, and it's just gonna be toxic, and you don't want that. You really don't. Right now I'm just going in and like cleaning up some lines and stuff before I add my shade for the cut crease. So yeah, so you do not want that type of relationship, because honey, toxic. Okay, I'm gonna use this shade right here to go in my cut crease. So yeah, so you want to be able to talk to the person that you're in a relationship with. So trust, communication, honesty, all that jazz. Those are all things that are like super important to me in a relationship. You know, and then like, you know, other aspects too, like so, you know, I don't know, like I just feel like this is why I titled this like better relationships, because all of these kind of go hand in hand. Friendships, significant other relationships, and like relationships between family, all of these issues with them, and all of these issues and like features you want to have in them go hand in hand. Like, they're all the same. You want all these things in all of your relationships. So once you get like a clear I don't know, like I said, no one's perfect, no situation is perfect. Once you find your rhythm within your relationships, like you're stable in all your relationships, where you feel comfortable in the fact that, you know, like, these are good people, I'm surrounded by good people, you know, and all these people have my best interests at heart and things like that, then that's when your energy, sis, girl, you're gonna be walking around like, hey, okay, like, because you just trust in your heart. You got people watching your back, because it's, you know, like, people, everybody can say like, I don't need nobody. You need people in your corner. You need people in your corner. And once all of them are on the same page to match your personality, to mesh with your personality and to match your energy, you good, sis. And I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Palette. And what I like to do for a full face glow is I will take my brush that I use for my highlighter, and I'll spray it with some of my setting spray first. Get it a little moist, but also because it's setting spray, you want that highlight, you want that glow to sit on this face, okay? Sit. So this is what the palette looks like. Of course, I mean, I've used it, so it looks a little used. I like to use Amber Gold, which is like this pinky gold shade, when I want a little highlight to like a natural look, but like I didn't do a lot, meaning like I didn't put on blush, so that kind of like puts them together. But when I do a full face like today, I'll just mix Sunray and Golden Dawn together. Ooh. Sorry. Alright, and then I go in with Hot Sand, and I put that on the bridge of my nose. I don't know why I like using a darker color on my nose, but I do. I just feel like the other colors were like too bright for my nose. Refast setting spray one more again. Oh my god. And I'm going to, that's it, sis. That's it. So on the last spray, I just use a little bit. I use a lot of setting spray, don't I? I'm gonna add my mascara, and of course I'm using my Fetish eyes mascara. Very, very important thing. You never want to use your setting spray after you put on your mascara, because sis, see what I just said? Awesome. I'm not gonna do too much for my lip. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my lip oil. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this on. It's kind of like a clear gloss, even though it's like a lip oil. But like I said, we're just going to the movies, so I don't want to do a lot. But yeah, it's literally like a clear gloss, but it's not sticky. It's just cute or whatever. All right, guys. So this is gonna be the final look. Do you like? Do you like? Do you like? So guys, that is gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in back into my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you love this makeup look, or if you love my topic of discussion today. Let me know if you want me to do the video where I clean my makeup brushes, because you held me accountable for that. Thanks, appreciate you, sis. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do that video, and also if you would like to see me do another one of these type of chit chat get ready with me videos. And also subscribe, sis, you might as well. We already went through this, we're not gonna do it again. Just do it. Just do it like Nike. But thank you again, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.